What if true power lies not in palaces, but in the soul's unshakable light? When a battle-hardened emissary trembles before a sleeping caliph beneath a date palm, yet radiates divine majesty. Rumi unveils a paradox. The greatest strength lies in surrender. Through Omar's quiet majesty and the seeker's unraveling fear, this story from the Masnavi whispers a truth. The eyes of the heart see farther than empires. Rumi unveils a timeless truth. God's face is seen through love, not sight. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. This isn't just a story, it's a masterclass in breaking chains of illusion. Rumi says, "The soul has been given its own ears to hear things the mind does not understand." The emissary from Byzantium comes to Omar, the commander of the faithful, and sees his miracles. Now listen to this story, which spells out some of the secrets you've been told about. A man came to Omar, once from the west, through deserts till Medina, with no rest. The Caliph's palace, please show me the way. I need to ride there with my load today. He doesn't have a palace, he was told, except his soul, illumined like pure gold. His well-earned fame as leader is secure, though he lives in a hut, just like the poor. How can you see a palace of this kind, when one stray hair has made your heart's eye blind? Rid your heart's eye of hair to have a prayer of seeing this great Caliph's palace there. Whoever's soul is free from lust has found admittance to God's kingdom's hallowed ground. Muhammad, purged of fire and smoke's last trace, whichever way he turned saw just God's face. While you are still the evil whisperer's friend, there is God's face, how can you comprehend? If you've an opening in your heart, you'll see the sun's bright rays wherever you may be. In everything, God can be seen through love, just like the moon among the stars above. If you place fingertips upon each eye, can you see anything at all? Don't lie. Though you can't see things, they all still exist. The fault lies curled inside yourself's tight fist. Just lift the fingers from your eyes to then observe whatever you should want again. Noah, when asked, "Where's the reward?" replied, "Beyond, beneath their clothes, their heads they hide." You've hidden it beneath your clothes, that's why you still can't see, although you have an eye. A man's his eye, he's mere skin otherwise, for the beloved's only seen by eyes. If they can't see him, then they're better blind, that's best for idols of a transient kind. On hearing this, the messenger grew keen to reach his goal more than he'd ever been. Omar, with his own eyes, he wished to find, and so he left his horse and load behind, to search for this great master everywhere, just like a madman with no other care. Can such a man exist? Can this be true? He's hidden like the soul. What can we do? He sought to serve him, like a slave in need. Such seekers always in the end succeed. An Arab woman saw him come and said, "Omar lies near that tree as if in bed. Far from the people under that date palm, God's shadow sleeps in shade where it is calm." The emissary from Byzantium finds the commander of the faithful sleeping under the tree. The man approached, but wouldn't go too near, On seeing him, his body shook with fear. Awe of a sleeping man left him undone. A blissful state now filled him like the sun. Such contradictory states as love and awe, together in his heart the stranger saw. Saying inside, 1,000 kings I've seen, who honored me, with sultans too I've been. But fear had never given me such fits. Now awe of this man's robbed me of my wits. Jungles of lions even I've explored, and not turned pale, however much they roared. And on the battlefield I've earned renown, for acting bravely when the rest are down. I've taken and dealt out such mighty blows, for I'm the bravest, everybody knows. This man lies sound asleep and he's unarmed, so why do I now shake and feel alarmed? It's awe of God, not just a human being, a man dressed in a gown that I'm now seeing. Whoever's path is fear of God will find that he is feared by jinn and all mankind. With folded hands in a submissive pose, he stood until Omar woke and arose. He then saluted him and bowed his head. First say salam, then talk, the Prophet said. Omar responded, told him to come near and to sit next to him and have no fear. Don't fear, for scared men is quite suitable, but not for those who aren't afraid at all. The scared are reassured, they won't be harmed. By this advice, their fearful hearts are calmed. Why say don't fear to one who isn't scared? This is a lesson brave men should be spared. Omar thus helped a troubled heart to find abundant happiness and peace of mind, with subtleties that few can comprehend, about God's attributes, our greatest friend. He spoke of God's love for his true elite, and of the states and stations one could meet. Omar taught him the journey of the soul, spiritual traveling to the furthest goal, and of the time which stands beyond all time, that lofty station, sacred and sublime, and of the realm in which the spirit flew, before this life both flight and grace it knew, seeing beyond horizons coast to coast, the utmost faith and zeal it then could boast. Thus, when Omar saw that he was a friend, he knew this man desired to comprehend. The sheikh was perfect and the student keen, the rider fast, the thoroughbred so lean. The guide saw he would suit the brotherhood, then sowed good seed in soil he knew was good. The emissary from Byzantium questions the commander of the faithful. Commander of the faithful, please expound for me how spirit came down to the ground. How did that bird become caged in a cell? He said, God chanted to the soul a spell. The non-existents have no ear, nor eye, but when God chants a spell, they stir and fly. His spells give non-existence such a jolt, that to existence they all somersault. And when existence hear God's formula, to non-existence, their roots similar. The rose smiled. Once he'd chanted to its stem, his spell has made a stone turn to a gem. Bodies transformed to souls by just one line. His words have also caused the sun to shine. But dark words whispered sometimes to its ear have made eclipses of the sun appear. He also made the clouds perform the task of weeping tears just like a water flask. What spells he must have whispered to the ground to make it think but not make any sound. Whoever is perplexed by doubt and fear, the Lord will chant a riddle in his ear. To hold him captive with this thought a bit, shall I obey? or do the opposite. God's preference is implicit for one side. This factor helps the doubter to decide. You don't want to be plagued by doubts and fears? Then put less cotton wool inside your ears, to hear those riddles that the Lord will tell, the secret hints he gives, the clear as well. Your spirit's ear will hear his revelation. What's that? It's speech that's far beyond sensation. Spiritual ears and eyes transcend mere sense, while rational ones can only claim pretense. The word compulsion spurs my heart ahead, while those who lack love feel ensnared instead. It's not compulsion but divine communion, not clouds, but the full moon in total union. If it's compulsion, it's a special kind, not that commanding self's type which is blind. Compulsion like this few identify. God's given these men's hearts an inner eye. Hidden things and the future they can see, mentioning the past near them is blasphemy. For them compulsion's different as well. Drops turn to pearls inside an oyster shell. However big each drop looks to your eyes, it forms a pearl exactly the same size. This group are like the gland of the musk deer. Inside there's musk, though this may not be clear. There's only blood around this gland, men claim. How can it turn to musk scent all the same? They say, this copper's hideous. I don't see how it can turn to gold through alchemy. You found compulsion and free will in form. For them, to God's own light it can transform. Unchanging on the table where you dine, the soul transmutes it with some heavenly wine. The soul has strength to carry out this role. What then the power of God, who rules the soul? Man would be merely flesh but for his heart. Both seas and mountains he can split apart. The heart splits rocks, lifts mountains through the sky. God's verse he split the moon, proves I don't lie. Just lift the cover of this mystery, your soul will seek God's throne, then eagerly